welcome to another video, and today we're here to talk about RPGs. Are you burnt out on them? Are you still playing them? Uh, I have a quick story. So I got into RPGs back in elementary school, or was it junior high or elementary school? I can't really remember. And I played Secret of Mana. My friend let me borrow it, and I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, what is this game? And that game blew me away. I was like, wow, I was so interested in what was going on with the game. It was so much fun, and it was multiplayer. I was just blown away by that game, and I actually beat the game, which I was very proud of myself for doing, because I mean, playing an RPG for the first time, and you know, like, and later on, I beat that game within 2 weeks, I believe. That was just so amazing to me, because I never played a game that long, and it took that long to beat. I mean, like, I usually would beat games within the first couple of days that were beatable, but Secret of Mana, you know, I had to invest in it, which was a great experience. You always invest in a good RPG. But that was my first look into RPGs, and after that, you know, I played Chrono Trigger, which is another fantastic game. Everybody knows about Chrono Trigger. My buddy let me borrow Chrono Trigger, and I actually got to play it on New Game Plus, so I didn't have to really do any grinding, which was another good experience for me. But Chrono Trigger, another phenomenal game. And then where it really started to get really serious at is when Final Fantasy VII came out for the PlayStation. That was a big thing back in the day. I mean, it was like they were showing that game off like it was some kind of blockbuster movie coming out in theaters. It was pretty insane. And my buddy had let me borrow that. I played Final Fantasy VII, and I fell in love with it. You know, the only thing I can remember that I hated about the game was the ending, which I still think is horrible to this day. But it was a great experience for me, and I feel like the fifth generation was pretty much the golden year of RPGs. It just felt like I was so invested in them, because I loved reading the dialogue and imagining in my head how the characters sounded, and you know, it was great. But now today, I think it started with pretty much the sixth generation. They started adding a lot of voice acting to RPGs, which is nothing wrong with it at all. But I kind of miss the days of when you just read the dialogue yourself and imagined in your head what was going on with the game. But I've kind of fallen off from a lot of the newer RPGs, and I feel that I don't know what it is. I feel like have I grown away from them, or are they just not as good as the older ones are? You know. And here's the thing. Here's what I came up with. You know, recently, Star Ocean: The Second Story celebrated its 20th anniversary of being released in America. Now, they didn't do it themselves. I did it, because I remember the day it was released, and I said, hey, I'm gonna pop this game back in. So I grabbed the original Star Ocean, which I still have to this day, and I popped it in my PS3, played it, and beat it. And this is the thing, though. I was so burnt out on RPGs at the time, and I fell in love with the game all over again. I was like, dude, this is freaking great. I love this game. I love all the stuff you could do, and it was just so amazing. And you know, I just had a really good time with it. You know, current RPGs that I do play, like I trust the Tales of series. I'm always following them. The Star Ocean games, of course, and of course, you guys know Ys. You know, those are the three main RPGs I play to these days. But anything outside of those games, I can't really get into these days. I mean, they're not making new Valkyrie profiles or anything like that. They did make a kind of spiritual successor to the series called Exit Archive, I think it was called. That game was really good. I got to get back into that one. But other RPGs, like, say for instance, like something like Persona, which is a big deal, or Kingdom Hearts, I just can't get into those games anymore. Kingdom Hearts was a big deal for me at the time, because when they first announced it, I was in Korea, and I was telling my friends, like, Disney and Square is going to make these RPGs, man. It's going to be great. And everybody laughed at me. I remember that crap. And then when Kingdom Hearts came out, everybody was blown away. Like, oh my God, where did this game come from? And I was like, dude, this is Kingdom Hearts. This is what I told you guys about. I loved the first Kingdom Hearts. I had a great time with it. I went all the way through it. Very enjoyable. But when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, and I tried to follow, because I tried to follow the story with that game. I was like, this story is all over the place. This is not good storytelling. You know, it's just so mixed up. You were supposed to go play Chain of Memories on the Game Boy Advance, which nobody knew about. And then, you know, it had that story that ties into that game. It was just so weird how they did it. Like, who the hell's Naminé? Who is this new guy? You know, like, what is this? Where's the original characters at? I mean, it was just all over the place. And that was one of the first RPGs I just kind of like, I said, I'm done. I'm good on it, man. I got all the way to the Tron levels, and I put it down. I was like, I'm good. All right, was it Tron, or was it I can't remember. I think it was Tron. I'm pretty sure it was Tron. And I stopped playing the game. I just couldn't get into it anymore. And I was like, I was so sad about that. I said, why the hell am I putting this RPG down? And it's just, what it does is it's like it's storytelling. The way the game was telling the story, I just couldn't follow it. I was like, I'm done. And I don't regret it to this day, but I gave up on the Kingdom Hearts series. And I'm not saying they're not great games, but storytelling is very important in games. You want to keep your people invested in it. You don't want them to try to have to figure out too much stuff in the beginning, because you need something that's going to pull them into it. And Kingdom Hearts just didn't grab me, unfortunately. It didn't grab me anymore. I mean, I do like Birth by Sleep because Leonard Nimoy is in that, and I like his voice actor. But I just kind of fell off from the series, and I feel bad about it. But at the same time, I just kind of grew away from it. Another series is Persona, and Persona. Everybody loves Persona series right now. I mean, Persona 5, 3, 4, and 5. Oh my God! And I'll admit that I think they're great games, but I can't mess with them because I'm just not into that. The high school drama type stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe if I was younger and I was in high school again, I could get into that again. But it's not. It's just not for me. And I feel bad because the only thing is keep me from that game is the setting. I'm not into that high school crap. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like, ugh, I'm done with that. You know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons I just haven't got into that series. And I know I just can't get into the series. Not saying it's not a good series, but like I said, I'm not into it. I feel like a lot of RPGs today have generic stories that don't really, are pretty all kind of the same. You know what I mean? You've seen it before. I just feel like they're not really trying anymore. A lot of these RPGs are way too cutesy and just it's just ugh, what is this? Where's that serious RPG at? You know what I mean? I like American RPGs, like something like Dragon Age. I like things like that. Those are really good too. But I just feel like the traditional Japanese RPG is just not really that great anymore. Now, I have Trails from the Sky, Legendary Heroes, and I haven't even played them yet. I know those are good games, so I know those are probably cool games to play. But I feel like most new RPGs from Japan are just not as good as they used to be. And I came to this conclusion because me being able to go back and play one of my old RPG games and enjoy it like it was brand new, just showed me that I'm not out of the RPGs. I'm just not into the new ones. I could just go back and play my old school RPGs. You know what I mean? And that's what I wanted to pretty much kind of bring up to you guys. Even though if you're not playing RPGs anymore, if you're kind of falling off of them, just play the old ones again. Or if you haven't played them yet, go back to the old ones, and you'll see some of the best RPGs you'll probably have some of the best experience with RPGs ever. You know what I mean? Like I said, going back playing Star Ocean, brilliant. Valkyrie Profile. Valkyrie Profile, I gotta admit to you guys, it's gonna make you cry. I mean, this game is probably one of the saddest video games I've ever played. I mean, it's full of death, and hopefully you'll get the A ending. Another one, of course, I think I mentioned Xenogears already. Fantastic game. But another RPG I went back and played after Star Ocean was Xenosaga 3. Xenosaga 3 is the conclusion of Xenosaga, and thank God they didn't make it 5 episodes like they originally wanted to. And I was so blown away that I hadn't played the game in years. I was like, wow, dude, this was such a good experience. I love this game. That game had good storytelling. Sometimes it's hard to follow because it's just weird, but you could follow it. And it had one of the best endings. It had a great conclusion and an amazing ending. I was like, wow, okay, this is great. I wish I could tell you guys, but today everybody says, oh, spoilers, you spoiled a game that I wasn't going to play. But anyways, great ending, great characters. I mean, that's what you need in an RPG. I feel like old school RPGs like that had characters you could relate to. You know what I mean? One of my favorite characters in the Xenosaga games was Jin. Jin was a pretty awesome character. Another amazing game. And going back to another good RPG too, it's like The Legend of Dragoon. They did not make games like they used to. Sony was on top of their game when they produced this game, and I'm surprised this is one of the games that wasn't on the PlayStation Classic. That probably would have helped save it, but no, I don't think anything would have saved it. Legend of Dragoon is a game I don't hear anybody talking about, and it's one of the best. It's down there I think it's one of the top 20 RPGs of all time. I mean, they did a really good job on this game. It had so many good moments. Gosh, I'm probably gonna get back into this game after this video. I mean, seriously, I'm looking at it right now, so yeah, I'm about to pop this back in. I just feel like a lot of development doesn't go into RPGs like it used to, and maybe it's because times have changed. The cost of making video games has gone up, and a lot of these developers aren't able to they're not able to experiment with ideas like they would want to with making a great RPG. They just go with what's safe, what'll make money. And it's sad it's got like that. I mean, video games have gotten like Hollywood pretty much. If a game doesn't sell well, I mean, they shut it down, and the developers have to move on to something else. It's pretty messed up. You know what I mean? I hate that. You know what I mean? Back in the fifth generation, at least sixth generation era, you've seen a lot of really good, cool ideas trying to be put into games, and it's not. They can't do that anymore, really, because it's not safe. And I feel bad about that. You know, it's like they can't do any creative ideas for things until they make a whole bunch of successful sequels to something that's working or whatever. Here's maybe an example for you guys, even though this is not RPG. The Killzone series, Guerrilla was only making those games for like how many years? And then making those games a success, thankfully, they were able to make the game they wanted to, which was Horizon Zero Dawn, which I'm looking at right here, this beautiful collector's edition box. And, you know, I just feel bad. But, you know, anyways, guys, I just feel that I'm happy that I'm able to go back and play the old school games and still enjoy them like they were brand new. And even if you feel the same way I do, even if you don't or whatever, you know, going back and playing the older games where you read dialogue and text and things like that, it's a really great experience, guys. I mean, seriously, it's good to read to yourself in your mind. You know, get your reading up a little bit. Just sit there back and just read the dialogue. Imagine how the characters' voices sound. It's just kind of like an experience, like reading a good book. So for those of you guys that read books, you know, that's what it's like playing an RPG. Besides the gameplay, of course, but reading all that dialogue and all that stuff, all the text, you know, it's just like reading a good book. And but here's the thing. Here's the last thing I want to come up to you guys with. I think one other reason why I got burnt out on the newer RPGs because I actually forced myself to play them because I say it's an RPG. I gotta beat this game. I'm gonna give you guys some good advice right now. Never try to force through an RPG just because you think it's gonna get better in the game or whatever. You know, if the game doesn't start off strong, you probably shouldn't invest in it. I mean, that's just my opinion. You guys probably have a different opinion, but I mean, the opening of any game or anything, like a movie or anything, the strongest part is gonna be the beginning part. That's what's gonna make you invest into watching it or playing the game. And if that's not strong at all, I mean, you might want to invest in something else. For those of you that are patient, so I'll wait until it gets better, you could do that. But I tried doing that, and I've done it. And some games have paid off, but most games haven't. And it really burnt me out from playing RPGs. I don't want to invest 40 hours, which is basic time for usual RPGs. I don't want to invest 40 hours into a game that I don't think is that great. You know what I mean? Like I tried to play Arc of Fantasia for the Wii, and I thought that game was going to get good, but that game was like, I was like, man, why did I even try to play this game, man? What a waste of time. I can't get those hours back. And I just want you guys to think about it and protect your time, because as we're older, man, you know, we don't have as much time, and you know, we can invest our time in other things, you know. So, you know, if you're gonna invest in a game, you're gonna make sure it's something you want to play, not something you force yourself to play. I'm definitely gonna play Legend Dragoon. I'm gonna set it up here. I won't live stream it, but maybe I will. Nah, because I gotta hook up too much stuff. But I'm really having a good time. Going back and playing my older games, and that's what I think I'm gonna do. I do trust, like I said, certain newer generation of games, but I only trust the ones like Tales of, Star Ocean, and of course the Ys series, which I love. And that's enough for me. That's totally fine. You know, I don't need to really invest in too many newer RPGs anyway. I mean, like I said, I really want to go back and play my old school ones like Shadow Hearts, you know, Rogue Galaxy again. I had a blast playing those games, and I think you guys will too. So anyways, guys, I trailed off long about this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about like the newer RPGs and older RPGs from back in the day. And I would say 4th generation and up, man. Don't go past the 4th generation, because I'll have no idea what you're talking about when it comes to RPGs. But anyways, guys, Radical Reggie, and I will see you later.